Hello again, everyone. So, if you read the title, we are back at it again with the FrankenBans. So, quick little summary on these here. These are my original Ray-Ban Metas that I got in March 2025. So, about, what's that, 7 months ago. These are the ones I made a video where the right speaker died. So I had this other pair, this one here, that a viewer sent me. He fell into the pool. These stopped working. He sent these to me, just to take apart and kind of do whatever I wanted with. So I stole the right arm from this and put it on mine. Speaker worked, but in that original video, the touch control did not work, but I didn't really care about that. Fast forward, I don't know how long ago that was, maybe 2 months ago. These started to do some crazy things. So the sound was still okay. Speaker still worked. But for whatever reason, the volume for phone calls was super low, like as low as it could go. And on my own personal pair, my new, the limited edition ones, the Gen 2s, if the volume is all the way down, I can't remember exactly what it did, but it had something to do with the touch control, but it was only the volume on calls. I don't remember exactly how I figured out, like the speaker still works fine on these. When I play videos, I could do the volume on my phone and it still controls the volume up and down. But for whatever reason, phone calls are just low. Regardless, that none of that means anything as far as what this video is for. So the main thing that doesn't work on these is the microphone on the right side. So these original Ray-Bans, you have a microphone here, you have one here, there's one in the nose piece here, you can see it there. I believe these only have 3 microphones. I'm pretty sure they only have 3, because then I believe the Oakleys, when they came out, had 5, and I think the Gen 2s also have 5. I'll have to go back and look at that, but regardless. So I think the microphone on this side is damaged also from when they fell into the pool. So anytime you record a video with these, it does record, but you only have sound on one side. So it just kind of defeats the purpose. Like, it makes for bad videos. But then what was kind of the nail in the coffin for these, for me anyway, was just randomly, all of a sudden, you couldn't turn them off. So the the switch, when you turned it off, they were still connected in the Meta app and showed what the power percentage was. You could not shut them off. So, when you, like, the wear detection setting or any of that, when you take them off, and media or whatever, videos, phone calls, whatever it is, please, the wear detection, it's supposed to stop all of that, and the auto pause and all that. None of it worked anymore for whatever reason. And so what was weird is, even if these were turned off in the charging case, it should default back to my phone. But when I would get phone calls or anything, it would go to these in the case. And it got to a point where I would have to turn my Bluetooth off to disconnect from these, but it so even that though, when I turned my Bluetooth off, it would still somehow show the battery percentage in the Meta app. It made no sense. So I got to a point where I just kept unpairing it, so that it would disconnect. And then I got, my Gen 2 limited editions, and these have kind of just been on the shelf. And I haven't worn them, and I want to, because now, like, I want to wear these to work, because I don't really care if they get messed up. So anyway, that's just a long-winded way to say that what I'm going to do is kind of put these back how they were. So I'm going to attempt to take this arm back off, put the original arm back on. I'm not so much worried about the speaker. It's a long story. So yeah, I do want to wear these to work. But if I can fix these, then my wife's pair, if you've watched my videos, I think it's called Warm Stone. I made a couple videos about those, but the kind of semi-transparent ones, I'm going to kind of steal those. She's going to take these, because for her job, the recording will be more important than the speakers. I mean, yeah, we'll leave it at that. So anyway, so that's where we are. And then originally I wanted to steal the speaker, from the donor, but it's molded into the frame of the actual arm. There's no way to get it out of there. And then if you noticed, it's actually missing the battery. So that was another one. Someone sent me their glasses. I don't think I made a video on it, but maybe I did. But it got smashed in in a porta potty door or something, and it cracked along the capture button here. And when I was trying to take a look at his, when I was taking it off the X-Acto knife, I accidentally punctured his battery, and it started to smoke. And it's actually, I got it over here. Luckily it didn't catch fire, but this here started to stink really bad. It swelled up, got really hot, so I hurried up and got this out of the glasses, his pair. But by doing that, then my original arm turned into the new donor. So I took my battery out of these and put it in his, and they came back on and worked and whatever. So all right, anyway, let's just get to this. So again, these are kind of trash at this point. I mean, they work, but they're kind of trash at this point. So if I break them, kind of is what it is. I mean, I didn't do the best job gluing these back together, because again, I didn't really care, but you see it's not really perfectly flat. I mean, it was good enough for what I needed. So anyway, so let's see if we can split these back open. Don't know how strong the glue is going to be. I did use Gorilla Glue. It's probably in there pretty good. I'm going to pause this video. There's no real point of, showing me cut these open, but I'm just going to try to cut the glue along the seam here and get this off, and I'll be ready. All right, I probably should have just kept recording. It literally took like 2 seconds to get under it. I'm assuming I can just peel this off now. I guess that glue wasn't as strong as I thought. I didn't put a lot anyway. Yeah, this, okay, cool. So, get rid of that. And looks like the battery it's probably glued to this. It looked like the battery connector came unplugged. You can see it here. That wasn't the issue though, because I mean these did turn on. If it got unplugged, they wouldn't even power on, you know. So let's do this. Alright, so what I want to do, try to, it's not the best, but just want to get these unclipped. So really just the main one. This is the one that feeds into the glasses. All right. So just want to get the two screws out. I guess technically these would be bolts because there's no point. I'm just gonna set these off camera so they don't get lost. Okay, put this over there, and this should just come off. All right, perfect. So yeah, that goes with that. So that was one thing when I did mine. Also, so the donor, we're going to keep all the donor stuff over there. So the donor pair, it was a large pair. The arms are a little bit longer. So let me try to line this up. You can kind of see if I line those. Here, we'll just put it right on top. You can see it's a little bit short on the back there. So I wasn't able to put my original cover on. So anyway, they still work. Well, kind of. All right, so we'll keep that over there. Grab a little rubbing alcohol. Get that up under the battery. That's sit and do its thing. When I took the battery out of this one, I heated it up with a hair dryer, but that was kind of panic mode. Like because it was smoking, I had to hurry up and just kind of get it done. So all right, there we go. So this is the donor. Let's get this cleaned off. All right. I guess it does have, looks like a little pull tab that you can probably use to pull it out maybe. But either way. All right. So this here, we're just gonna kind of loosely set that in there so I can slide it. Really, I want to just make sure the connector here is lined up. Let's see. All right. Felt like it clicked in there. Okay. This battery, I know it's dead because it was in that, so I'll have to charge it before we can actually test it. Yeah, see, originally what I wanted to do was just replace this speaker, but I guess since this one, the donor, nothing was really working, I guess I could really take this apart and see how hard it is to get out. It looks like maybe these solder pins through this ribbon cable might be what gives power to the, or connection to the speaker. So I may have to desolder that, possibly. That's a problem for another day. So let's get the arm connected. Okay. Just put one in for now, just so it doesn't fall off. Okay, and then I just want to click that in place. Alright, I'm going to stop the video here on the FrankenBans and let these charge for a little bit. And then I will be back to test these. Alright, I charged these enough. They're only at 19%, I think, something like that. But let me just start a recording. So it still has the LED on the inside, no LED on the outside. Let me stop the recording. Yeah, these are back to working. When they turned on originally, and said the battery percentage, I could tell it was still the same. You know, this speaker's dead. So anyway, so yeah, we're back to kind of where we started. While these were charging, I'm gonna put it back in here so they can charge. I'm not gonna do too much more on them today. I'm not gonna put the cover back on. So while that was charging, I was looking at the donor pair. So this ribbon cable that goes under the battery comes up here to, it's hard to see, but these two solder connections. So I just pulled that off. I mean, I know, you know, I didn't feel like getting this soldering iron and desoldering this. I just wanted it out of the way so I could look at it. These are broken anyway. I was more curious about the speaker. I wanted to see, you know, how this was molded in. But while I was looking at it, I kind of stopped because I wanted to get it on video. But if you look, you can kind of see down in there, this is the speaker that comes out of the speaker grill. There you go, right there. So if you look down in there, you can kind of see it started to separate. I think these are actually two different pieces. I don't think it's molded into the glasses like the frame. So, I mean, let's just see. Let me pry that a little bit. And let's just see if it comes out. Can't really break it any more than it is, right? Famous last words. Oh, did it break? I mean, yeah, kinda. So I guess it can break more. Alright, so this is all part of this speaker kind of shell. Doesn't look like any electrical connections are broken. I might be able to glue this back in, because the actual speaker, the diaphragm, like it's still, you can see it move. Yeah, this still functions. Yeah, I might just glue that back together, because that kind of came right out. Yeah, it looks like this may be replaceable. I'm not sure exactly what this metal piece is back here, because there's no contact. So the only two contacts are these two over here, but that's just going to be the sound input. Like, speakers don't have power that goes to it, you know. I just don't know exactly what. I mean, it just has a QR code on the back, so maybe that wouldn't make sense for it to be a serial number, or not a serial number, but like a part number. They would just put that right on the plastic. Don't actually know what that is, because there's no, so where I broke it, it's not like there's any electrical connection between, you know, this side and this side. So I don't know. I'm gonna hang on to this though. That might be part 3 of the FrankenBans video. Yeah, we're gonna save that with the donor. These, there's not really much more I can scavenge off of this. I mean, I guess it looks like there's the little connection board here. I'll leave that on. I don't even, there's no point of taking it off right now. But there's kind of nothing left. Just the ribbon cable. I mean, there's nothing back here. I'm guessing the ribbon cable doubles as the touch sensor, these lines, if you can see them, because it's only in that area. So, and then I'm not sure why this ribbon cable goes all the way to the back though, because I don't see, what would this copper, so they're on the ribbon cable on the back side, there is a copper square. What does that line up with? Let's see. Just lines up with the back of the speaker. Maybe it's some kind of ground, I don't know. But I was just looking to see if this ribbon cable, when it's flipped the way, you know, it's supposed to be, if it makes contact with that little piece, this little piece. I mean, that is kind of here. Just tape. Just tape. I don't know. I'm not sure why this ribbon cable is so long. And it has these foam pads. So it wouldn't even be totally against back here. Like if the touch sensor, I know it's not all the way back here. Yeah, I don't know what this ribbon cable, like why it's so long. You know what this might be? This might be, I bet I know what this is. Okay, so the ribbon cable is connected to the speaker, and I bet it vibrates, so the foam pushes it against the inside arm, and right where this goes is behind your ear, kind of above it, and I bet that's what it's for. I bet the sound vibrations go through the ribbon cable, through the inside arm, into your skull, almost like a I forget what they call it, a bone speaker, I don't know, like where it, you know, vibrates through your skull more so than the speaker itself. I bet that's what it's for. Actually, I can almost not guarantee, but yeah, I'm almost positive that's what it's for. So, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I mean, I'm gonna end this video here. It's not really much more to go over. This was kind of a boring video. Just really another reason for me to continue this FrankenBans series. Yeah, that's it for now. I mean, these are charging. They pretty much are how they were. I think part 3 is going to be fitting the speaker into it and seeing where that goes. But that's a problem for another day. All right, I'll catch you later. See you, everybody.